What's up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to the Berserk manga. I am recording. And today I'll be reacting to Volume 17, the chapters Revelations Part 1, 2 and 3. I actually kind of forgot I'll be doing 3 parts today, but I guess that is a bit of a happy coincidence, isn't it? We'll be starting off these new chapters, the birth ceremony chapters, which is really interesting. Again, we're moving on quite fast from the binding chain chapters. But I think we covered quite a bit in there, didn't we, with Farnese, her as a person, and it turns out she was, has got this kind of hollow faith. Again, I don't fully understand it. There's definitely something more there that I'm not understanding with Farnese. Some reason as to why she's got this, as to where she is where she is. Again, there's quite a lot unexplained, what I want to know about her. And I think we get to know that. Just on the basis of this image again, I still haven't fully figured it out, but obviously it's kind of a demonic take on the hollow idol, but I also realised it actually looks a hell of a lot like this. I'm not sure if this holds any kind of semblance, but it looks a hell of a lot like the symbol you'd see on like an ambulance or a medical centre. It's a hell of a lot like this with the wings. It's got this kind of stick in the middle. Obviously there's a behelit on the bottom of the one here, but it's also got two kind of intertwining snakes, which might be this kind of umbilical cord type thing. But yeah, kind of realised that I was kind of thinking of, I think it was quite big in one of the Final Destination movies, maybe 4 or 5, one of the worst ones. But that was a little bit of a topic in there. I mean, when I say a topic, I mean it was pointed out. That's about as far as you'll get with some of those movies. And yeah, that kind of came back into my memory, and I was like, oh yeah, that really actually reminds me of this. And then it's almost the exact same thing, funny enough. I can't remember where there was some story about where that kind of came from, that medical logo, but and that it can't be kind of replicated or anything as well. It's like illegal to kind of replicate on something that's not a kind of government kind of medical agency or something similar to that. Again, I can't fully remember, but yeah, there's some kind of link there, of course, but again, no idea what to expect in these chapters today. Last chapters were pretty intense, weren't they? I'm not going to go back and look because I had a fucking nightmare censoring that video. Well, I say a nightmare, it wasn't actually as bad as I thought it was. When I write them all down, it's like, holy crap, there's like 20, 30 bloody timings to actually censor, but actually goes by pretty quickly, to be honest with you. Isn't that hard or anything. But yeah, there was a lot to censor, so don't really want to look over too much of that. I did upload it originally, and it didn't get taken down, but I got demonetized. I think mainly because of the horse fucking chode, the horse penis that was shown. Which of all things I found quite crazy because it's like an animal, so I would have thought that might have been okay, but I would have thought the kind of Farnese's boobs would have been the main problem. The boobs are never a problem when I upload these videos, so I knew it wasn't that. So I censored the horse, and then everything got cleared up. I done a bit more censoring of the boobs, of course, just because again I feel like as soon as I started reacting to this on the channel, my monetization went down a bit. Probably because there was maybe like an angel limit or something put on my videos, or maybe I just don't earn that much on these videos because again there is that kind of nudeness, but again they never actually outwardly say there's something wrong with it, so to me anyway. I mean, I know there is, I know these probably shouldn't be kind of okay, but funny enough it is. But yeah, enough of that tangent. Very interesting cover image here. I hate these bloody adverts, the way they cover these up. But yeah, make sure you let me know what you guys think of these 3 chapters down in the comment section. Leave a like on the video if you guys do like, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date with these reactions. Again, I think we should be in for quite the time today based on this artwork here. And as I said, there's going to be 3 chapters in this video, so quite a long episode, I do imagine. The people saw it in their sleep. Conviction arc, birth ceremony chapter, Revelations, part 1. A reaper. A soul reaper. This big old scythe. I do like a scythe as a weapon, one of my favourites, to be honest with you. I mean, not that I use weapons, but if I was like a villain or even a protagonist, was it Dante's Inferno, the game? I used to have there was a scythe in that game that I really like using. I think I played that years ago. Bloody hell, that was on the Xbox 360. That was a fun game. Yeah, probably one of my preferred weapons of choices if I could. Not one of the best weapons, but one of the coolest looking personally. I think just the symbolism it brings as well of being the Grim Reaper's weapon holds a lot of weight, doesn't it? As well as just like a farming tool. But ironic. That is a cool ass image though. Almost reminds me a bit of Guts. Obviously not in the weapon or anything, but just in terms of the kind of dark cloak surrounding. This is what I imagine perhaps is the darkness surrounding Guts, and Guts is the kind of bringer of death to demons. Guts is the kind of Grim Reaper to demons, isn't he? A little bit. Not sure if that's intentional, I doubt it, but kind of reminds me of him. There was a kingdom of villagers dying out from plague, routed by an army driving mammoth beasts. There was a city devastated by an earthquake, town swallowed by raging torrents. Is this the end of the world right here, we're saying? The apocalypse. Look at that scythe just cutting across the whole landscape. There was a sun obscured by black smoke and mobs of staring, vagrant folk. There were corpses of both family and neighbour. Each event occurred individually, yet converged upon one idea. Each night, an utter darkness fully enveloped their world. Ooh. That almost looks about... I say it's about any castle, but it almost looks like the castle Griffith dreamed of. Fallen from the rocks. And I'm about to get crushed. Again, this scythe looks so cool, doesn't it? Just cutting through everyone and everything. From the skies. Dead people. And yeah, lovely. Jesus Christ. Imagine having to draw all these people. Again, I do not envy mangakas at all. And the meticulous detail they put into this stuff. Look at this fucking thing. Look at this. It's insane, isn't it? Every area of this is crazy good. From the castle all the way. I love that how it sweeps as well. You really follow the action. Again, it's just masterful, isn't it? Imagine this, man. Like, that corner is enough. That corner is enough for a good panel. That 1/5 of the page, let alone everything else. Then, oh, interesting. This almost looks like that symbol as well. Then, amidst such discord, they caught sight of it. A single shining hawk, sundering the thick darkness, alighting upon the blood-stained land. They believed instinctively this was their desire, or this was their desired. A single shining hawk. Interesting. we know a couple of them. Well, we know one of them. We did know one of them. Amidst all this darkness. Is this the birth of their religion, perhaps? Well, I don't know what this is, to be honest with you. Revelations, again. That tells me it's religious in some manner, but like I say, I'm not fully kind of clued up on the Bible or anything. Western Midland. someone asked me this. They said that you better not be Christian reading this, and it's like, can Christians read this? Like, is it okay for Christians / people of faith to read? Not sure. It seems like it wouldn't be, but perhaps I don't know. And I don't really know the rules, but it seems pretty kind of demonic sometimes, especially the last chapter. Like, kind of demonic. I say that, but a lot of the kind of cruelty and ruthlessness in this series is very real. So, you never really know. Western Midland. So what's happening here? They've got some kind of flood or something, like all these drain pipes leading downwards. What a dreadful sight. During times of war, the stone and lumber in this area was cut and quarried en masse to build forts and the like. Yeah, this is a very empty forest, isn't it? I mean, if you can call it a forest, it probably should be, but all those tree stumps. Every last tree has been taken. All remains are the bare mountains. But still, this rain. I do look forward to some strong drink at the inn this evening, Lord Laban. Hey. Lord Laban. Some more new characters right here. Got the handsome man. The crying kids. This kid just looks really young, but looks quite distraught as well. Hermit right there. That was rash of me. Please forgive me. Oh God. Whatever the case, why this large crowd? I do not know. They seem to be coming from the town ahead. There's a lot of them. Oh crap. A landfall. It's a landslide. The ground was loosened by the rain. All forces halt. All security forces dismount. Rescue our subjects. Follow me. Heavens, Your Excellency, from mere peasants to personally, Excellency. Well, very well. Up to it. Follow General Aban. Hey, hang on. There. You're safe now. That probably killed quite a few people, I imagine. Oh, is this Farnese? What in? Oh, I was gonna say, what the hell is that word? I've heard of that word. I can't remember what it means, but oh no, I don't. I was gonna say adjudicant. Adjutant. Never heard that one. Adjutant. What is it what I was saying, but I was just saying it strange. Adjutant. I've heard it in like a political term, or kind of court term, I think. French-speaking armed forces. A military officer who acts as an administrative assistant to a senior officer. Okay. Exit out. Sorry, guys. Oh, nice we come back. And we went too far in, were we? That's just like his second in command then. Take care of this mess. Should you finish the work before I return, have all forces stand by and keep the peasants here. 2. Meaning what? Excellency? Where are... I'll soon return. Put the wounded in the covered wagon and treat the peasants to something warm. Excellency! I'm borrowing this. Please don't tell me. This is... It kind of looks like it could be Farnese. Might not be. Looks like it could be though. As he goes to the place where they all left. Like, very empty, yeah. So, rats are the only things left. Maybe not. Maybe there might be something else here. That's what I'm thinking. Why else would everyone all of a sudden just up and leave? And there's a lot of rats. Damn. Fucking piles of bodies. They're trying to get in the castle? I imagine. Interesting. Okay, look at the detail on that. That looks beautiful, doesn't it? The plague, then. Oh, so it's the plague, okay. Well, that's a fucking nightmare in these days. That's something I did learn about in I covered very specifically the history of medicine. Again, I was really awful at it. But there was some quite interesting stuff, again, especially about the plague and the times, people throwing shit out on the fucking street and that causing a lot of death and such. Bring out your dead, bring out your dead. They just have someone like this guy a little bit. Is this the guy that does that? Probably. They'd have some guy kind of with a wagon or something, then you just chuck any of your dead family members or anyone you live with who's dead in there. It's quite fucking messed up time. But yeah, hygiene and such was not massive back in these days, of course. The plague then. Called the Black Death, I think. As I feared. Get. Confounded rats. Now that their food supply is swollen, they've got big and fat. They come from the devil. They done brought this plague here. It's since these rats started growing in numbers so much that the plague spread through this town. Little grim reapers. Suppose they are, aren't they? Little grim reapers. Little rats. I hate rats. I don't mind mice. Rats can be okay if they're kind of kept for, looked after. Like pet rats are fine. The rats I see in America, I've never been to America, but the rats I see on video in America and such are the right little fucking horrors. Oh, well, I remember watching. It was one of the. It was relatively recently. It was Guillermo del Toro. I'm so sad, by the way. I saw a picture of Guillermo del Toro in Edinburgh the other day. A little bit away from me, but it would be awesome to meet him in person. Obviously, a massive horror director. I was watching his series that he produced. I can't remember what it's called. It's like an anthology series he produced, which was quite good. There was quite a few good ones in there, quite a few kind of hit or miss ones, to be honest. But the good ones were really good from some of my favorite horror directors as of recently. But there was one about these rats, and them stealing stuff and dead bodies from coffins, and that was quite intense. I hate rats. Quite a good horror kind of villain. Rats are. Well, I say that. But they came to the town because people left the hills bored and took away their food and homes. Good point. All those trees were gone, so nothing could really live out there. Took away their home. They took away yours. I've never heard this saying. Mayhaps. I've heard of perhaps and maybe. Is that a combination of maybe and perhaps? They don't mean the same thing. Mayhaps. Do they not mean the same thing? Possibly, but what is the point of that? What is the point of that? Okay. Mayhaps. I've never heard anyone say that. I think this is probably an outdated term, isn't it? An old adverb from 1577. Probably replaced may happen. It's not still alive. I've never heard anyone say that in my life. Maybe by accident. But yeah, that's just, again, I think that's just outdated, isn't it? Maybe and perhaps have just kind of taken over that. Seems totally unnecessary, doesn't it? Mayhaps. Just sounds weird. Mayhaps we read what we sow. And it just sounds weird, doesn't it? But makes sense for this time period, of course. You won't leave the old town, old one? I don't care to desert this town at my age. My whole family's dead anyways. Really is quite a skinny, small man, isn't he? You'd be best off now before death haunts you too, Sir Knight. Wavering your sword around will do no good in these parts. True. It isn't just this town. I've seen the same kind of spectacle throughout the kingdom. Plague, famine, mercenary bands turned robbers. Oh, what a horrible image that is. I'd hate to die like that. I mean, you'd hate to die to the plague anyway, but you'd hate, I think, again, getting killed by loads of rats is horrible. Obviously, that didn't happen to them. Everyone here died of the plague, but like I was talking about a minute ago, can you imagine getting killed alive by thousands of rats eating through you? Such a dark shadow now covers all of Midland. No, it's not just limited to this kingdom. Is this the price of 100 years of war? Kind of amazing humanity's kind of survived through this, to be honest. Like, genuinely, this plague and such could have just kind of wiped out humanity. What they thought COVID was. What they hyped that shit up to be. Man, that was actually such arse, wasn't it, COVID? I mean, it's still going on in some places, but the way that they tried linking every death that had any relationship to COVID, I'm not going to speak too much about this, but every death even related to COVID, no matter if you had symptoms of a major illness before, if you had COVID and died, it was a COVID death. The fact they've done that is just ridiculous. Inflated the numbers massively. Of course, you can never 100% tell which one it was that ended up kind of killing a person or making them massively ill. Well, doctors should be able to, but yeah, I just find that so disgusting. That whole situation. I knew it as soon as it started. This is a situation people take advantage of. Any situation like that is the case. I think going forward, humanity's just got to be a bit smart about these things, haven't they? But yeah, we won't get too deep into that topic. I know it's quite a well, I'm not even sure if it is fucking an argued topic, to be honest with you. It's vexing. A time like this is precisely when the entire kingdom, and I still haven't actually had it, still. But maybe I'm kind of thinking at this point I'm just kind of naturally immune. It's vexing. A time like this is precisely... I don't go out that much though, to be fair. A time like this is precisely when the entire kingdom's efforts must be devoted to rebuilding. Yet over 7/10 of the military have spent 2 years searching for a criminal with... Oh. So this is actually current day? Interesting. I kind of thought this was in the past. Interesting. And this man is linked to the Holy Iron Chain Knights then. It's vexing. A time like this is precisely when the entire kingdom's efforts must be devoted to rebuilding. Yet, over 7/10, that's a lot. 7/10, 70% of their military have spent 2 years searching for guts, eh? Searching for a criminal we're not even certain. Maybe this is in the past and perhaps I'm... No, I don't think it is. Because this is the old man from the fucking Golden Age. Is this his kingdom? Oh crap. It did say we're in Western Midland. I assumed it was a different part of Midland. But I guess this guy's kingdom was Western Midland. Okay. Apologies about that. So this is current day. And I'm guessing he's talking about guts here, but they should be certain he's living, right? Well, maybe it's not certain. Okay. The state His Majesty is in. What is it? What on earth happened that day 2 years ago? Wait, so this is His Majesty right here? The old man from the Golden Age arc? I'm assuming that's him. Looking terrible. Those eyes. Surely they are a madman. Yeah, so, okay, starting to make sense. If only I just read this bit before. So, he's actually on orders to find guts. So this is actually not, he's not with the Holy Iron Chain Knights, he's actually with the Midland Army. And the old man from the Golden Age, who I didn't actually think we'd be seeing again, but he's still crazed over guts, it looks like, sending out 70% of his fucking army for him, for one man. Crazy. Wonder what's happened with his daughter. Hopefully she's got out of that fucking place, but I doubt it. Okay, so this guy's actually with this old fart. Interesting. This is another army on the lookout for guts. Still. Again, you would have thought he would have quit after the Baki Raka and the devil dog guy fucking failed. Alas, the search had exceeded its purpose, but this kingdom-wide desolation is a fact. To say this crisis will decide all our fates is no exaggeration. A darkness that covers the world. I suppose that was a revelation. If it was, then, that hawk of light. The Black Death. And the hawk of light. The dream is a revelation. Oh, there's that symbol of the religion. If the dream is a revelation, what does that part signify? I just had it for a second there. I think the symbol what I was talking about with the medical symbol is like a symbol of welcome. I think it's that everyone is like kind of welcome to join in or something. That's why it can't be kind of replicated or stolen by like a company, for example. You can't have a logo similar to that or the same color as that. I remember actually a while ago I saw, I think it was a game or two. Can't name them for the life of me, but they tried using a similar symbol and the same color of the logo, and because it was, and you just can't, not even in a video game, you just can't have the likeness of that kind of logo. Again, I think it's like some kind of sacred, like everyone's welcome type deal. Again, I can't fully remember, but just from the bits and pieces I picked up. Yeah. If the dream is a revelation, what does that part signify? To me, at least. What a hawk symbolises? No. For all the people of Midland, there's but one and no other. Griffith. I guess the comment on my last video was quite interesting about Griffith kind of being the Jesus of this series. He did have that kind of as a human, he had that kind of presence, didn't he, to bring people with him, to guide them, to kind of shape them, and to have these followers. And it was very much Jesus-like from what I remember of the Bible. And he'd have some pull off some absolute miracles and such. That who he's? I'm guessing that's who he's thinking of right here. It may be absurd, but when you think of it as such, even the search that seems meaningless can be seen to possess some sense of purpose. Excellency. So you've come adjutant, as you see. These terms, man. So you've come adjutant, as you see. We must also blockade this town at once. You don't look well, but it's no surprise under these circumstances. You jest. Excellency, I have had my pill of seeing people drop from the plague. However, it is another story for the head of our kingdom. Say what? A message rider just came from Wintham. His Royal Majesty has succumbed to illness. Is that not a good thing? I mean, we're happy about that, because that guy's a fucking inbred, strange arsehole. Inbred is not the right word. What word do you use for that? Paedophile? I mean, the fact that it was with his own daughter as well is, what do you even call that? It's a mix between the both, I guess. Inbred pedo. So that's good news, and it's good news for the army as well, considering that 70% of the army was fucking out there looking for one man. That stupidness is going to end now, isn't it? You'd hope. But yeah, this guy's shocked. Have we seen this guy before then? I kind of almost feel like we have. I feel like maybe he was one of the more reasonable people during some of the Golden Age section. He does kind of seem recognisable. That's a badass image there, isn't it? The looming death. That's a badass image. Right, we must regroup. Tell me the details along the way. Aye. Oh my god. That was really just a glimpse of these rats, wasn't it? Fucking hell. Oh, I can't imagine this. Imagine they just I'm surprised they didn't attack this guy. Imagine just being that one person there and then you're like, holy shit, I'm just dead. And I'm going to be nibbled to pieces. Oh, it's horrible. Look at this. This mountain of rats. Look at that. It's literally a mountain. Oh, shit. Oh, we do see a little bit of his face right there. Lips. Big old lips. Holy, is this Conrad? Is his name, perhaps? Forget. Damn. He is the rats. He is death. Jesus. Man, that's quite the cool fucking scene there, isn't it? To be honest, I actually think it would have been scary if they were the rats. They were just normal rats. But Conrad, hey? Interesting. Interesting. Look at these fucking bodies as well, by the way. Horrible. Ooh. Gulp. Look at these dirty little hairs. Spirits flying out. Some of the rats are just running off. Again, this happened before, didn't it? Where it doesn't even say end of chapter. It's interesting. Maybe it does that with the ones that are more than one part, and I just haven't noticed. As the thunder rains down. Wow, interesting. Interesting stuff right here. And here's that image. Conviction Arc, Birth Ceremony Chapter, Revelations Part 2. I think this does kind of change this a little bit when you do think of this bird as Griffith. Intertwined with the hellet. Pinned down, taken to the brink. This is kind of signifying his. Oh, it is very religious, isn't it? Griffith's whole thing. I mean, probably should have realised that a bit more at the time, but I think now we're really delving into the religious stuff. It's much more obvious. But so it's kind of signify his, I guess. And I don't fully remember all the beats of the kind of Bible, but there was kind of the Griffith before, then there was the Griffith of kind of suffering and getting tortured to an extreme extent, and then being reborn. I guess that does kind of signify Jesus's kind of journey as well. Interesting. Wyndham Castle. Damn, that's a fucking scene and a half here, isn't it? Again, the amount of content here, it's crazy. That could be adapted so beautifully. In any form. Movie, game, live action, anime. And maybe they're scared. I think it probably scares them even more now the author's dead. Because you really got to do this justice, haven't you? Does that make his daughter now the queen of this land? I guess so, right? Again, look how beautiful this is. Yeah, the statues. Hard enough to create these kind of normally, if you know what I'm saying. Like, I mean, it's probably a bit easier drawing these statues than creating them in real life, don't get me wrong, but I imagine it's a hell of a fucking effort drawing stuff like this, like gargoyles and such in real life, in manga as well. So we're at his deathbed. Charlotte. Charlotte. Court doctor, please hurry. Summon his kin. What's that? At long last, it's upon us. The birth of a new queen, Her Majesty Queen Charlotte. Who is this? I don't recognise them. Oh, there's this guy. I don't recognise this guy. I consider her disposition. There is hardly a chance she will not appoint a regent. I feel like I should know what that word means, but I'll just Google it. Person appointed to administer a state because the monarch is a minor. Oh, okay. Or incapacitated. So it's like a stand-in. Okay. There's this guy, maybe that person then. The no's in candidacy are Home Minister Gustav, Financial Minister Hugo, perhaps even Royal Household Protocol Chief Cariel. We must consider our plans for the future. What about former Home Minister Foss? In the few years since the Queen's assassination incident, the Honourable Foss has not fallen under any faction, as if he feigned retirement. Every rumour says that this mediator of the former Conservatives has seemingly become dispossessed of his powers. Makes sense. Good grief. They move keenly even before the sun finishes setting, or perhaps I should say, resolutely. They don't understand what situation our kingdom is now placed in. They're all so busy with self-preservation schemes, when you can go several leagues from Wyndham and the dead lie piled up. No, even here below this castle. So this guy's he didn't look like he'd be a good guy, based off his haircut, personally. The bowl. Fucking spike heads. But he seems like a good man, actually. A bit like the guy we saw before. Actually putting people's well-being in the forefront. And just surviving, which honestly should be their main goal. Are the deaths of subjects nothing more than statistics? The hawk. The hawk will come again. The hawk. What wondrous dream. Everyone in Wyndham, no, perhaps everyone in Midland saw the wondrous dream of the hawk of light. So is that now what that? I'm guessing they've kind of, maybe they haven't like outlawed his name, or kind of a bit like Voldemort in Harry Potter. Maybe it's just not kind of okay to say his name. Like we now refer to him as the hawk of light. And it does kind of seem like this very religious, kind of heavenly experience for all these people, doesn't it? A little taste of the freedom of a flying white hawk. Free dream. Where all these people are trapped in by their sin. Interesting stuff, isn't it? The effect that Griffith has had as a man. What happens if he returns as a demon? What happens then? Probably still follow him, I imagine. I do wonder when we'll see those guys again. Of course we saw, again, I think his name's Conrad, just there, but I was looking forward to seeing when these guys spring up. The priests clamoured that it was God's revelation. They said it was a good omen, signifying the appearance of one who will save people from every calamity, now wielding its menace. By His Majesty's falling ill happened, after the people began to talk of the dream. Interesting. Priests clamored that it was God's revelation. They said it was a good omen, signifying the appearance of one who will save people from every calamity, now wielding its menace. Now wielding the calamity's menace. Again, they talk about Griffith? Femto? Because he's kind of wielding a menace in a way. He's now a demon. Or they're talking about Guts, kind of wielding that darkness and empowering his dream through that. I feel like that's happened a few times as of recently, where it's kind of blurred the lines of which one are you talking about? Are you prophesizing Guts here, or are you prophesizing Femto? They're both very different, but also very similar, aren't they? As they have always been. But His Majesty's falling ill happened after the people began to talk of the dream, which is interesting as well, isn't it? Because that's a good thing to happen. Like I say, he was a bastard of a person. He should die. And it's good for the army that he's dead, because they're not going to waste their efforts. But again, I see this as a good thing. Not that one such as I could truly comprehend. Again, this old talk really gets to me. I hope I don't start talking like this in fucking normal life. Not that one such as I could truly comprehend. The will of God. It's a strange thought, but that the dream happened is the only unmistakable reality. A miracle has surely occurred. Your Highness, please open this door. What's the matter, Lord Owen? Okay, it's so strange to hear them all talking about it so kind of fondly and dreamlike. It makes sense, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying that because the last time we left this place, again, we were just kind of getting attacked, it really didn't seem like that. We were breaking out Griffith, weren't we? And we were the main enemy of this whole place. Now, 2 years later, Griffith, again, they're talking about like gods, talk about like Jesus, an experience with Jesus. You see, the princess has confined herself in her chambers for a whole 5 days now. Even before that, she had not set one foot outside the palace in the past 2 years. Wow. She will only allow one person in, her favourite handmaid. We are presently trying to persuade her, but... Your Highness? Highness? Nice to see her again. She was pretty cool. Glad she survived as well. I kind of thought she might get killed by the king or something, but glad that's not the case. What is this? She's thinking about... Well, could be about losing her parents. They weren't good parents. So I hope not. You should not be worried about that. I mean, yeah, normal people should, but you, Charlotte, no. Or is she thinking about her and Griffith? Been a long time though, hasn't it? Been a long time. Pardon me. It's cruel. A single timid girl is made to bear the burden of everything. Reporting, Your Highness. A carriage has been prepared. Please hurry and come to the inner sanctuary. His Majesty is on the verge of death. He mumbles Your Highness's name in... Highness? No! Such a man isn't my father. Or anything. So she probably wasn't thinking about him. Hopefully. Hurry up and get it over with. Don't keep this torture going forever. Don't torment me anymore. She might just be okay after he dies. So yeah, even more of a good thing. She might just actually get to live an okay life. I won't say a normal life, because her life's never going to be normal, but... It's cold, almost as if I'm freezing. The king is on his throne. Magnificent castle walls, but I cannot defend against the cold this way. Stone walls merely augment the cold. Someone light a fire. On his throne. The king on his throne. Oh, valiant soldiers, with these men and these walls, my castle shall not waver. But for now, fire. I shall freeze to death at this rate. Enough already. I have no need of soldiers now. Fire! Someone bring fire! Bring warmth. Oh, that's it. What I wish for. Warmth. And what did you do with that warmth? You sullied it. You spat on it. Put it out. On his throne. The king on his throne. What? What are you doing? Move! Move aside! My desire is... It's like a bag of bones, doesn't he? Ah, there's the hawk. There is the hawk. This is definitely not happening, is it? Of course. This is some kind of dream sequence. Maybe this is his visions before he dies, perhaps. What he sees just before he's dead. What? Hawk? A hawk? Stop that! Get away! That's my precious. Get away! She's the king's life. Oh, look at this guy. Looks like he's rotting. Probably is. Damn. There he is, the hawk. Nah, this is a cool fucking shot right here. Gross, but pretty cool. Ooh, I'm getting cold. Yes, perhaps it is so. Perhaps I sought after you, as a rescuer to liberate me, on his throne, a solitary man, from this prison called a throne to madness. The king on his throne. Does make you not ever want to be a king or anyone in that position, doesn't it? I mean, again, slight differences because this guy is a terrible kind of guy, but even so, it holds that much weight and coldness, and yeah, do not envy a king at all and his castle. Flash. And looks like we're back. The lightning strikes. Father! Highness, no, no! Save me, Lord Griffith. At a time like this, His Majesty has passed. After so long. What's going to happen to Wyndham now? And to Midland? The mountains are moving. What, like, really? The mountains are moving. Fuck. There was a kingdom of villagers dying out from the plague, routed by an army, driving mammoth beasts. There was a city devastated by earthquake towns, swallowed by raging torrents. There was a sun obscured by black smoke and mobs of starving vagrant folk. There were the corpses of both family and neighbour. Each event occurred individually, yet converged upon one idea. Each night an utter darkness fully enveloped their world. Femto, slain, Brain. His name is definitely not Brain. Void. Brain. Do you want to think of Brains from Night of the Living Dead? Conrad and the other guy, whose name I forget. So it's 5. It's 5. I was about to say, it kind of reminds me a bit of another religious thing here, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Maybe Void is kind of upper echelon, perhaps. Who knows? Maybe that's Griffith's position. Who knows? But it kind of reminds me of that, with the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse kind of bringing on these devastations to these towns. I feel like it is perhaps the godhand. I mean, we saw Conrad earlier, but perhaps the other guys are in these other places committing their earthquakes and such. But yeah, that obviously really reminded me of this opening sequence of these mammoth beasts and the plague. That was a bit of a precursor to what's to happen, hey? Interesting. As we see a mammoth beast, quite literally. Not sure if it is a mammoth. I think it is just an elephant, isn't it? But looks like one. Revelations 2 ends. This one's got an end, but the last one didn't. Beautifully drawn fucking elephant here, isn't it? Beautifully drawn. Damn, look at all these people. Fucking hell. Is this... What army is this? Got some kind of eye, heart type logo. Wow. Bloody hell. Again, look at this drawing. Look how many people there are in this drawing. I mean, not as detailed as we've seen before. But even so, bloody hell. And then you get this giant centerpiece. Looks brilliant, doesn't it? They're here for war. I mean, I guess the mountains really were moving. Yeah, I'll go with this guy. Rotten piss. Rotten piss, you fucking dead ass king. Yeah, who the hell are these guys? These eyes really quite remind me of like Egyptian stuff, but oh, apologies. Oh dear. Something went down the wrong windpipe right there. But yeah, let's get into this last chapter again. Another one of these type of designed intros. Interesting. Conviction arc, the birth ceremony chapter, Revelations part 3. No way. Just one man against a band of 300 mercenaries? Unbelievable. I knew it. I knew we shouldn't have taken this guy on. But blame the boss. He was so hung up on getting famous. The legend was real. He's the god of the battlefield. The immortal Zodd. Wow, what is going on here? Maybe Zodd's causing some chaos as well. They just get swiped. Get smited. Jesus. So we're seeing Zodd again. Again, all these demons popping up right now, aren't they? Why now? Why now of all times? Why are they all converging at this time? 2 years later. Cool ass belt, by the way. Yeah, cool shot. I like this guy's armor helmet quite a bit. It's quite crazy, isn't it? This one right here, quite cool. Which reminds me a bit like a crazy scientist type deal. As the crows eat. Caw, caw, caw. Just how many times have I scoured battlefields, spitting on piles of corpses that I've made? 300 verse 1, hey? Wandering for 300 years. I guess seeking among man really is useless. I've stood before the apostles so many times, but somehow they're no good. They cannot satisfy me. There really are none but you, wretch. Oh yes, that man. The branded swordsman. The rumours say he's cut down several apostles. He must now be somewhere creeping about in the night. Skull Knight, let's go. I look forward to seeing these guys meet again. Top 10 best anime romances. Zodd and Skull Knight. In any event, my desired is just one thing. The White Hawk. Popping up everywhere. Again, I still feel like I'm missing some significance. Maybe it's just popping up with these desires, these dreams. Why is it here with Zodd of all people? Again, maybe it is like I was saying, maybe it is that kind of dream that invokes this. Interesting. Among all this death and these crows. What? Oh, what's this? He doesn't even know what this is. First time we see him look like this, by the way. This is within your dozing. The dusk between dream, consciousness. You mean, why? What you sought were not words, immortal. It's between dream and consciousness. Almost like the barrier between life and death. That the spirits kind of live in. What you sought were not words, immortal. Definitely. I seek only one thing. The strong. Only the absolute strongest. Is this actually Femto right here then? Like actually here, not just like a vision or anything. As he destroys that nice belt I was talking about. That's a shame. Got to put that back together. Cool shot though. Maybe the manga could just got bored and wanted to draw Zodd again. As the bird flies off. Oh, there's that kind of entwining thing that we see on the kind of idol. Wrapped around his arm. Interesting. Wow. Holy shit. I feel like this was actually Femto. Maybe this is a form he can kind of adorn. Wow. Fucks him up big time. Cut his whole horn just like that. And did he cut him in half? I feel like his eyeball's popping out. Looks like his jaw's cut in half as well. Bloody hell. Jesus. Oh, it didn't actually happen. Okay. There are still out there. What did I just say? There are still others out there for Zodd to get killed by. That's for sure. Not the strongest fucking being in this universe, is he? Don't get me wrong, one of the strongest we've ever seen, but to others, he's just a mere ant. Know your place, Zodd. Know your place. Dream? Was that a dream then? Not quite, like he said, it was a bit in between, wasn't it? As we see right here, he actually did get his horn cut off. Wow. I think that's Femto up there, isn't it? Up to his little tricks. When the sky falls at the holy ground where blind sheep gather and erect a pillar of fire, it will come. The desired will come. When the sky falls at the holy ground where the blind sheep gather and erect a pillar of fire. Okay. Keep that in mind. It will come. The desired will come. Oh, hey, I haven't seen these guys for a while. No good. This place is the same. Every house is empty. There's no food or anything left. And the church is filled with dead bodies. Thanks to the plague, every place looks the same. Inside, they're swarming with spectres. Now I can't even get a decent sleep in the daytime. Why don't you go rest on that hill? You ain't slept in 2 days now. The ancients used that place to enshrine elves, so the incubi shouldn't like. The ancients used that place to enshrine elves, so the incubi shouldn't like it enough to come near. Like fucking Stonehenge. Is this Stonehenge? What is this? Is this about that scene we were just talking about with Zodd? It looks like it could be the case. Sky falls and the fire and sheep. I feel like we're just about. Which man just taking a nap at Stonehenge right here, by the way. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, we pick up this scene. What the? Is this a vision that Guts is seeing, perhaps? Strange looking sky. Like, it's like the moon. Super fucking close to the earth. Like Casca, perhaps? This guy about got the fattest. Yeah, boy. You've ever seen. Could be Casca. Kind of looks like her. Again, this kind of looks like a quite religious type deal as well. One of you guys did comment the other day on my videos about how you don't like Christians because well, they done with burning people because of assuming they've done witchcraft. So generally, it was. I think that stuff did genuinely happen. I think I remember learning about it at school again. I don't think it was medicine history I was learning about that, but just history in general, I think. And yeah, quite a shame that this. I say quite a shame. It's awful. It used to happen just to civilians. Of course, we know nowadays there's no fucking such thing at all. Quite deluded indeed, weren't they? People that carried out this stuff. They'd have certain tests. I think like one was like sticking your head in like water and seeing if you'd survive after like a minute or two. Like, how the hell does that prove you're a fucking witch? I mean, people can hold their breath up to 10 minutes nowadays in some cases. How long your breath lasts indicate that you're a witch in any way? And like stuff like that. I think there was probably others as well, but that's just one I think of off the top of my head, and it might not even be right. It is indeed Casca. Haven't seen her for a while either. Looks very pretty with this pitch black hair, doesn't she? Stop. Stop! Stop it! Stop! It's like everyone's kind of having this influence of Femto right now, aren't they? Everyone. Something's happening right here, isn't it? Something's happening right here. Yeah, that was Guts' dream. There he is again! There he is again! Did the incubi do that? Like Puck's on watch. Having a little nap, is he, on the job? At least he's got his trusty little stick on ready if we need it. Oh, this is going to be quite a long episode today, isn't it? I think we're already about an hour. Oh, we're an hour 13, bloody hell. But yeah, there it is. We are getting to the end, to be fair. There is his son. Baby boy. What's his name? What are you going to name him, Guts? Again, another misconception here, I think. Where Guts is probably going to fucking blame him for those images, I imagine. I think last time I actually got it wrong, didn't I? You guys luckily told me in the comment section. I assumed it was his son that kind of invoked the images of those dead kids a while back, during the Rosine stuff at the kind of start of that. But it was, those kids were kind of there anyway, and his son just happened to be there. And actually, I got told that he wanted to warn Guts about them. So it was quite a nice act. Again, I feel bad because every time this guy comes on the screen, I say, kill him. Just kill this thing. And I've definitely kind of got the wrong end of the stick in that aspect, haven't I? He actually is quite a kind little kid. As weird as he looks. As much as he is an actual demon. Quite human. Again, I love the fact we're just taking a nap. Fucking Stonehenge. You did it. Yeah, I knew it. Again, I had the same misconceptions, so understandable, Guts. You did it. Just now. And it warns him again. Actually, verbally this time. I mean, quite a shame because he's bringing up the image of Casca, which I can't imagine Guts respects. Well, obviously he respects Casca, but he doesn't respect the fact that this demon brought up Casca to him. Just now, you did it. The danger. Perhaps he thinks that he'll actually listen to him if he invokes the image of Casca. Where is this going though? That's what I want to know. Where the hell? This sun demon stuff is like, where does this go, man? Does he just always end up being this? Does this kid grow? Does he always end up being this deformed little demon that just shows up every now and then? They're like Skull Knight. He almost looks really kind and nice in this scene again, as much as his face looks messed up. It looks a bit like Conrad, doesn't he? The mouth. But looks quite nice and worried in this shot, doesn't he? He's trying to warn Guts of potential upcoming danger. Oh wow, he really took on a form right here. What are you trying to pull? Danger. Hurry. When the sky falls. Oh, here we go again. At the holy ground. Blind sheep gather and erect a pillar of fire. Hurry. Quickly. Is he saying that maybe Guts isn't in danger, but Casca is actually, like, that's actually happening? Is this gonna happen? Just like a vision of the future. Oh, what the hell? Oh, what the hell? What in the world, man? Is this gonna happen? And her Marg is bleeding as well. I mean, we see the kind of evil spirits here, but this is bad news. It also means that that lovely family is probably in quite a bit of danger as well, right? Why would they take Casca? I mean, why would she be in this situation? She's underground in some random fucking hole. What would make them think that she's a witch? Or want to burn? Perhaps it's the Midland army. No, I don't think it would be. I don't know. I don't know what to make of this. Very interesting though, isn't it? And the sky falls. And the holy ground. Blind sheep. I mean, sky falling, I think, is referring to that moon being ever so close and there being almost no stars in the sky, and you can't hardly see the sky because it's covered up by that moon. The holy ground might just be where we are right now. But I think that's more referring to perhaps this giant hollow idol right here. Blind sheep, obviously the people gathered to burn her. And erect a pillar of fire. Hurry. Quickly. Danger? Oh crap! Look at this little miniature. Hold on. No. Did something happen to her? Yes, you're catching on, my dude. Conviction arc, birth ceremony chapter, Revelations 3 end. Wow. So yeah, this was a lot right here, wasn't it? This was a lot. It was a catch up with a lot of characters we haven't seen in a while. The King of Midland died, which is good news, great news actually. But we've almost been prophesized the kind of future right here, both in terms of like Casca and in terms of the fates of a lot of the kind of lands over Midland dying out. Again, this is all kind of adding up to something, isn't it? It kind of seems like Zodd is killing a bunch of people. Perhaps that's what it just does anyway, but I feel like we've actually seen him do it. So we've seen him, we've seen Conrad be this kind of plague and kill a whole, well, not everyone, but destroy a whole kind of town. I feel like all this kind of darkness and all these events are kind of adding up to this something, aren't they? Seeing Griffith up to some kind of tricks, should I say Femto, invoking an image of kind of Griffith though, isn't he, with that kind of white hawk, kind of invoking that image of what he was before he turned into Femto, that dream, that person that these people kind of again kind of looked at as a Jesus-like figure, and kind of spurring some people on with that, wasn't he? But where is this all leading? I'm wondering. Brilliant few chapters though, weren't they? And I think that's kind of spurring on Zodd a bit there, letting him know that there is many out there, maybe not many, but there are others out there that can fuck him up big time. All this political stuff going on, of course, with Midland Army. Again, so I think this, again, I kind of thought this was a vision that he was having before his death, which is the case, but I think now, after this one, I think Femto was actually kind of putting this into him, if you know what I'm saying. He was kind of beaming this into King, this image of him and his daughter. One final little fuck you, maybe. We see one of the scenes that we got prophesized in the intro. This, I think a lot of stuff might lead back to this. I mean, we saw this one. City devastated by earthquake. Town swallowed by raging torrents. Now this might be referring to the Casca situation, perhaps. There was a sun obscured by black smoke and mobs of starving vagrant folk. Maybe not so. Maybe not so. Right into what we just saw, but yeah, this is what makes me. Each event occurred individually, yet converged upon one idea. Interesting shit happened right here, right? They caught sight of it, a single shining hawk sundering the thick darkness. This was their desired. Some very interesting stuff, isn't it? So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Again, just trying to interpret a bit more there. But wow, that was a lot. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys thought of these chapters down in the comment section. Like I said, a lot going on here, and probably a lot of, as it's called, revelations. There was a lot of revelations, but these are maybe telling us a lot about what's going to happen in the future. Of course, we got kind of visions from quite a few people, from quite a few aspects, and pretty much got told what's going to happen to the Midland right here, didn't we? This is almost going to be kind of fully swallowed up by darkness and killed by the Grim Reapers here that are potentially the God Hand. Maybe it's just Femto. and Conrad perhaps, but things are looking pretty terrible, aren't they? Yeah, a lot of like I said, a lot of revelations today, to be honest with you. A lot to take from this, a lot to kind of read over. I'm again looking forward to seeing what you guys have to comment about today's episode. I imagine there's quite a lot that I've missed here, and that I haven't interpreted fully. Yeah, a lot to think about. A lot to think about. Apologies, probably seem a bit overwhelmed because it does feel quite overwhelming, doesn't it? It's the sense of everyone's so much darkness, if you know what I'm saying. So much death and so many awful events coming up. Yeah, we'll have a little look at. Looks like we've got some new stuff next one. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Again, please let me know what you guys thought about these chapters down in the comment section. Really looking forward to seeing what you guys have to say about these chapters. Let me know anything I kind of missed or anything I kind of misinterpreted, like the symbol, for example. Leave a like on the video if you guys did like the video, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date with these reactions. I'll be back next time with the next couple chapters. Have a look what they're called. These ones were absolutely brilliant. And again, it was very Bible-like, wasn't it? There's a lot of religion stuff in these. There has been up until this point, but even more than ever now, it's kind of even recontextualizing some of the stuff we've already been through to make us understand it's more religious kind of arts. But yeah, we've got cracks in the blade and a feeble flame next time out. So hopefully you can join me then, and enjoy the rest of your day, guys.